Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CloudStream, your go-to podcast for everything you ever wanted to know about going to the cloud. In this series of 6 episodes, we bring you expert insights, real-world examples, and tips to navigate your cloud journey with confidence. I'm your host, Riz Haque from CGI Global Intellectual Solutions and Innovation. Today, we are wrapping up the series with yet another exciting topic, the Application Factory. Joining us, Mikolas Hämäläinen, who will share how to transform application development and modernization required for the cloud. Mikolas, welcome to the show. It's great to have you here. I was looking forward to talk to you. I want to know everything about Application Factory, but before we go there, I would like to know a little bit about yourself. What kept you busy lately?
Well, of course, work has been keeping me quite busy, and also a lot happening in my personal life all the time.
Okay.
So
Right.
I'm hugely into music, so been a lot of gigs, and then I do make some music myself. So
All right.
buying new synthesizers, trying to learn how to use them,
All right.
and of course, then used to be a bit of gym addict, but now all the other things are taking time off from that. So
All right. Well, it's great to hear that you are actually balancing your creativity with your work. So hopefully it's working out with nice balance. Great. Application Factory, where it come from? What is it all about? Please break it down for us.
well, first of all, it was sort of like a brainstorming with a couple of guys at CGI.
Okay.
And then we came up with a concept. So what Application Factory in essence is, the factory word tells it. It's a conveyor belt
Great.
for software.
Sure.
And of course, in order to run a factory, you need to have a lot of things in place. So you have the automation bit. Factories are automated, of course.
Right.
And in Application Factory context, that means AI. So we have plenty of AI tooling to help us out with the automation process. And then you need to have the kind of, let's say, the low-level tools in place. So all the robots and stuff like that in factories. That's called platform engineering in our terms. So we develop pre-made architectures, frameworks, templates, processes to run the factory.
So is it safe to say that it's not a co-pilot, but it's the industrialization of softwares?
No, it's not Copilot. Copilot is like maybe one piece of a robot in the factory.
Sure.
So of course, that's used for software development. Everybody should be using it.
Right.
But it's like the whole thing from product development to the application management. So we automate that bit. So it's not only kind of having an assistant coding, making you code faster by any means, but also automating all the difficult parts. So writing specifications, refining those, keeping the factory running.
Right.
That's important.
Interesting. Now then, how your clients are actually deploying Application Factory, how they're actually taking the advantage of Application Factory in their business?
Well, first of all, of course, Application Factory is a service concept, but it's not something you go to like Shopify and buy it online. So we have the normal client engagements.
Right.
And then we might, and probably will, even more so in the future, identify proper use cases. Let's say you have a lot of legacy systems.
Right.
Application Factory is a perfect fit for modernizing or re-platforming those.
Right.
And we have plenty of those cases.
Very, very interesting. Tell us a little bit about the third party. I mean, can you actually develop Salesforce through that factory?
Well, Factory first and foremost is a cloud native set of tools.
Sure.
So part of the company's or clients, customers' cloud journey.
Right.
But insofar you have a tool, let's say Salesforce or anything else, third party that has well-defined APIs, we can integrate with that one. Because of course, dealing with the APIs, orchestrating all this stuff, it's sort of second nature of running cloud. Cloud services are a bunch of APIs in essence anyway.
Mikolas,
how we end up having the whole ideation of application factory, what it really is in the world of CGI.
Yeah, it started as like a bit of brainstorming
Okay.
among like a bunch of people. And then we came to the conclusion that why are we doing this thing the old way?
Let me guess, was the place a sauna?
No.
Not that time?
Maybe over beers or something like that.
All right.
And then everything else is becoming a service.
Okay.
Right. And then we thought, why wouldn't software development be a service? It should be for real. So instead of doing all these shoddy projects and trying to run the whole show, we automate it, and you get predictable end results.
Right.
Yeah.
On our very first episode, when you spoke with Jussi Mäkinen, he referred to Application Factory as one of the revolutionary creation at CGI. I would like to know a little bit more on that. What does it really mean for our end clients or our clients in a sense?
Yeah, for clients, it's sort of a paradigm shift if you are looking into how clients are buying software development nowadays. So it's sort of, if you are looking at this like in concrete terms in real world, it's like fast food. You buy what you want, you know how much it's going to cost.
Right.
And you know you get it fast and the quality is predictable.
Right.
Whereas like software development as we see now means that you have to pick the ingredients from here and there and make the whole thing yourself.
Yep.
And then you get the result you get. So it sort of standardizes the thing. Of course, the big thing for the customer as a buyer is that they have to rely on our capability to deliver. So it might be a leap of faith for some.
Could you give us an example how you usually get yourself engaged in a client domain with Application Factory? I mean, what really the clients require to do to engrave Application Factory on their business?
It comes with the client engagement. So we have big customers, they have legacy systems, they need to somehow revamp the environment.
All right.
That's where we step in.
Right.
We operate really efficiently in a case that you have an old system because we can feed all the existing documentation requirements, whatnot, and utilize AI to crunch it. So we get standard end results out that we can feed to the conveyor belt and build the whole thing.
If the cloud centralizes the infrastructure, what is the role of Application Factory in all this, in your opinion?
Well, the Application Factory actually supports the cloud journey. So usually when you talk about cloud, it's multiple things. It's like a platform, it's some software in the cloud, and so forth. But the key ingredient is that they are all services. So what Factory does for software development, it's a service.
Right.
So we are not doing, selling hands or building stuff manually anymore. We automate it. It's a service.
Yep.
And it also utilizes cloud-native components. So everything you do with the factory will be standardized. It will run on the same tools, and you get a coherent IT architecture.
So far, it sounds like that you have really gone quite far on this journey with Application Factory. How you see that moving forward next couple of years in this changing world? What are the things that you're considering that you like to share?
First and foremost, of course, we want the world to change in a sense that we have like super talented developers, for example.
Right.
I don't want the guys to do, the boring job. That's left for AI and the factory. So we can concentrate on the high value work because we have like smartest brains on the planet working for CGI. One of the key things also is that AI world is changing quite rapidly. So I think we need to cooperate more and more things.
For sure.
Like industrialized IT development.
And you are happy with the progress that you guys have pulled in last couple of quarters?
Yeah, exactly. That's been happening because now the kind of customer interest is there. The concept is new. It's like pretty hard sell for somebody, because of course people don't even understand first what we are talking about.
Yeah.
Then you go, to the fast food metaphor. Hey, now I know what's happening.
Right.
So
then my obvious next question is about scaling, right?
Yes.
And I am a personal believer of the fact that if you can't scale, you better not do that, because it's all in or nothing, as we say. What if things don't speed up or become more efficient? What needs to be considered carefully? You as an expert could tell.
Well, I think the key thing is the machinery. So that's where the kind of platform engineering steps in.
Okay.
The bright brains working on the factory tooling. So I see that might be maybe one hindrance. And because, the customer base has like really varying IT architectures. So we need to fine tune and wiggle a bit all the time.
Yep.
When we are looking into kind of the first part, the automation with AI, that's only going to get better because the tools are evolving so fast.
Sure.
And we are piggybacking on that success. So
yeah,
it looks really good
yeah.
in the future.
Listening to you, Mikolas, I think that you and your team are going through a journey. And as in many innovation, this sort of journey comes with a lot of success and failure. I want to ask the first about the failure. If you had one, would you like to share what was the lesson learned out of that failure?
Well, of course, it's sort of a fact of life.
Yeah.
Doing consulting and IT that you fail all the time.
For sure.
Yeah, sometimes there are big failures, usually just small ones.
Right.
But I think kind of the key thing to understand is AI is not perfect. So we had some trouble a couple of months back. Problem was that we just couldn't get the AI understand what we are trying to do with the source systems. And this pretty much underlies actually the work with Application Factory. So it's not off the shelf, but we need to fine tune it for specific use cases. So even though you have the AI, we need to actually tell the AI what it should know.
Yeah.
And train it.
Right.
And
Right.
that's sort of thing that I think we will overcome all the time, because customer base is diverse and we encounter new problems. But every time we invest in the factory, fix the problems, everybody will benefit. So it's
For sure.
a cool journey.
And through that lesson learned, I'm pretty sure that you have pulled a lot of success as well lately. What stands out in terms of one successful delivery that you are personally proud of?
Well, we are actually currently working on some code modernization projects.
Okay.
And we were sort of surprised how well things were. So we got some great results in really short time.
Yeah.
Modernizing some old software, moving it kind of to a newer stack.
Yeah.
And even the developers were a bit surprised that, oh man, this works.
Yeah. They're always, we like all those surprises once in a while, especially if they come out of hard work and the dedication of the team. Great. Time for a simple question, Mikolas. Do you think Application Factory is a game changer?
Yes, I think, because it does multiple things. It changes how you purchase software. It changes what to expect from the software development. And of course, it totally changes the way we develop software.
Yeah, and what is super interesting listening to you is like, I see the whole concept of Application Factory has, of course, a lot to do with machine and AI, as much as it's to do with people and talent. And I think something beautiful can always happen when you make a combination of these two things, right?
Yes. AI is like, even though I think I'm quite bright, it's my daily driver.
Sure.
So the AI plus bright people combination is going to create some great results.
All right. I'm pretty sure that we will be looking forward to the progress with Application Factory as the time goes on. But for now, I would like to really thank you for being with us today. Talk through us with on the topic of Application Factory. It's been such an inspiring to talk to you. We'll look forward to engage in the near future.
Thanks so much. Nice being here.
All right. It was great to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us today and throughout the series. That was the last episode of the CloudStream podcast. We'll be back with new sets of episodes sometime soon. Till then, it's a goodbye.